I'm trying to think how I'm finna start this
I'm so
intro.
smart.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Just gotta look down there.
Alright. Alright.
Uh, all right, welcome to another episode of our Money Tunes podcast. So today we're going to be talking about a life of a bandhead. So may I get everybody's name?
My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Mr. Golden.
So the first question I'm going to be asking is, what does band's culture look like in HBCU?
Man. So from the perspective that I know, most bands at most HBCUs are like the largest student body group. They normally range from like 70 to 80 members to up to 250. And it's a lifestyle in itself. Band kind of have to exist in its own place based on the fact that there's so much practice and so much commitment. A lot of the times you will see the band kind of I don't say seem isolated, but it's just its own culture in itself. We eat together at different times, practice together at different times, and just have a completely different experience with college than your average or your typical student. So it's just a completely different experience that only somebody that's been in the band can tell you about.
What you think, Mackenzie?
I think it's a different experience for sure. Cause before I even got a band, I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was just like people playing drums and dancing and just doing stuff. But now that you get in there, it's way deeper than that. So I agree with Golden with that one.
Okay, next question. What does HBCU stand for?
You got this?
HBU stands for Historical Black. Wait, hold on, let me see. Okay, it stands for Historical Black College University. Yeah.
All right. So the next question is, I already asked what does the culture look like. What is your dreamable band that you look up to the most?
Jackson State or ASU.
Little Boom.
Yeah.
No, that's a big beat for real. It's on a battle.
I don't even really got one, like, necessarily. I went to Pine Bluff, so I'm a favorite that to a degree. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of bands and a lot of schools that have great bands, so I don't really got one. I do like the idea of like the mass bands now. So the mass bands would be like for the state of Mississippi or the colleges in general who all participate with one group. So if I'm gonna be, I ain't gonna say if I was gonna be motivated. Those are the bands that kind of got my attention right now. The bands that's made up of people from all the different schools in comparison to just one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's get into the fun part. What would y'all say the best battle of the band would be, like the best battles of the bands that they didn't have this year?
Like what would be the best one?
Yeah, like out of all schools, like battle. Like what would you say be the like specific one? Like, oh yeah, they like that for real.
I'm gonna say if I had to pick like at least three, I'm gonna say Jackson State, Valley, and I gotta give it to ASU. Like that would be something big. That would be crazy.
What you think, Doug?
Biggest events that come across my timeline, I'd say, is still the Boombox Classic. So that's normally Jackson and Southern, which is crazy. It's Sonic Boom of the South versus the Human Jukebox, so they made the Boombox Classic. And then it's a parade called the Bacchus Parade that they normally have in like New Orleans in like February. And this year it was like everybody was there. It was like 2-3 days worth of parades. It's usually around the same time as like Mardi Gras too. So it was like maybe about 8 or 9 colleges at this one event. And a lot of different battles happen at the same time. So those are like the two hypest ones that I saw this year.
Okay, the next question is, how is y'all personal life about band? Like, what bands did y'all play in?
I graduated from Beecher, so I was in the band at Beecher, and I played for Mine Love. I've been the band director at Beecher, and now I'm the band director at Hamady. So that's kind of my musical journey as far as band goes. And now I participate with the R-City band in Detroit as well. So that's my little journey.
So the next question is, what made y'all want to be in band? Like, what was y'all like when y'all first heard a band? Like, did y'all instantly like, oh, I want to be in band, or like, what made y'all really get into it, and what made y'all really love it?
When I first saw band, I ain't really know it. Like I said that I didn't really know what it was. I didn't really care for it. But what made me want to do it was when my friend, she did it, and it just looked it real fun. Like they was dancing to the drums, and it just everything like it just felt. I don't know. It just felt good to like dance, and then you in front of people. You everywhere you traveling, you battling. It's just like, why would you not want to be in bed? Like y'all doing all that, and then it's like the practices. The practice they gonna kill you, but it's gonna like when you dance, when you go perform, it's gonna show out. Like it's gonna show you. So I think I saw they perform once at a homecoming parade. Everybody was clapping for them. They was dancing. Everybody, it just looked it fun. It just looked like something I wanted to do. So when I joined it, I just fell in love with it. Now I just really can't leave being alone. It's like I'll be want to miss no days of practice because you'd be like, what am I missing for? It just be fun. I don't know. Like then the instruments, it be loud, everything. So everything just be
What
fun.
you think, Mr. Gus?
I started in 5th grade, and it was just simple. They came to our school. It was like, they testing people on instruments to see if you want to be in band. And I went, and once I got into it, they ended up like saying they had you do some basic stuff to see what instrument you might be the best on. And I got placed in the percussion section. And by the end of my 5th grade year, I was playing with like the 7th to 8th grade band. So I knew early, like, I gave it a chance, and then I found out it was my gift all in the first year. So it was cool. It was cool.
So the next question is, where do you see the Hamady band being in the next year? Like, where do you see everybody being at and being placed in?
You want to go first? You go first.
Where I see it being, the way we looking now, I see we probably being one of the biggest high school bands that ever did it. Like, cause this our first year, like our first real year.
Kinda. It's my second year, so.
Well, I've been in the band for like 3 years now, but to me, this our first real year where we got over 100 kids that wanna do stuff in the band. So I see us being the biggest high school band that ever did it.
And from my perspective, it's just I kind of see us being like a group to kind of reestablish the band culture in Flint, the music culture in Flint, kind of in one of the best spaces it ever been in general. And the fact that this music and the culture we have here is tied in with the culture of the students that go here, or the type of music that they listen to. Like, it's not like we just doing stuff from your typical historical colleges and doing things that's tradition. Like, we doing new things here, playing songs that y'all like, being innovative and allowing the students to have control. So with that, it's just like, I don't see the real ceiling. I just see that next year is probably going to be literally the biggest high school band that Flint has ever had from a number standpoint. Like, I've been around long enough to be blessed to have been in the bands when it was 5, 6 high schools. Everybody got a band. Some of the bands was larger, but some of the biggest bands that we had then was like 90 kids, 100 kids. Like, if you had that many kids, you was big. And now with us having over 200 kids interested, it's like, that's a baby college. Like Dad said, it's like Hamady University. So.
All right, this is the last question. From back a few years ago, what would y'all say the best band that Flint ever had? That's when like Northern was around, like all the bands, Northwestern, Southwestern, like all the bands. Like, what would y'all say, like, expecting off of them?
I mean, even though I'm a beacher preacher, you feel me? And at that point in time, we had the bands we had as a music teacher, as a just an honest person in general. I'm gonna always have to give it to Northern, just because they did so much. They traveled more than your average band. They competed nationally. They culture was a lot. They had a lot more history, I guess, in their culture. Like, they had a longer run of having successful years, and students that was able to go off and pursue a secondary education based off of their music skills. So in my heart, it was us, of course, but in reality, it's like, I can't take nothing away from Northern. They definitely have one of the most solid programs.
All right, that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for staying tuned for the Life in the Ben Have podcast, and stay tuned for the next one.